John Wick Chapter 4. Christ, mad there's 4 of these now. Thankfully did away with the chapter title, so Parabellum is just an outlier for now. This is, well, Keanu Reeves just messing shit up again. He's done it 3 times already and he's back for a 4th. These films are just great doses of cleanly filmed action goodness. What's made me love these ever since the first is that every action scene is well lit, well framed, and presented through some very imaginative sequences. And the devil's in the details, keeping ammo count and making use of props and enemy items in front of him. Really can't say I love the story as much. It's just there to serve purpose so that the action can exist. Yet somehow here we are, the 4th film in, expanding the lore to a point where it's actually fascinating to see what else lies ahead in this assassin world. It was a great idea to take John Wick global, and the first act is set in Japan's Continental Hotel, and the environments are just stunning. Actually, the set designs and location choices throughout the whole film are probably the best they've ever been throughout this franchise so far. Beautiful neon Tokyo vibes, throwing in new weapons we've not yet seen to make the opening hour that we're thrown into, which is pretty quick by the way, such a delight. John Wick has also somehow managed to coin this new form of action called gun dueling, with enemies and allies occasionally dressed in full Kevlar outfits. Sometimes just shooting isn't enough. And whilst the idea of bulletproof tuxedos is a little insane, if you get past that, we're given new scenarios where we have close combat with pistols trying to find small entry points where the body isn't protected. But that's not the whole movie. We've of course got the classic 1 versus 100 where guys are just mowed down too, and that's what I mean, that this movie just gives us a healthy dose of everything. I'd say there's 3 big set locations for this film, and I'm not going to spoil where this film takes you, but each new place gives us new kills, weapon choices, and hand-to-hand combat scenarios. Also, the stunt team in this film deserve nothing short of praise, and maybe a break. Just the amount of guys that are thrown down staircases, escalators, benches, and railings. There's multiple times in the cinema I was in where they just erupted in that noise you make when you feel the pain of what's happened in front of you. My back hurt from just watching this. Keanu Reeves is 58, and to see the stuff he pulls off here is incredible. A lot of inspiration from Black Widow with some of the moves it feels like, and I'm not going to go list out the things he does, but it's always entertaining to watch. The additions to John Wick himself aren't the only things keeping this fresh here, as one of the best ideas in this film was to bring in Donnie as the nemesis blind assassin Kane. And god, he's just so great in this. Great to see him bounce off John Wick's character, however corny and minimal that dialogue may be. He's just a wonderful addition here, and it was such a good shout to see a decent chunk of the action be focused on him too. It's a character which I think people would happily watch more of as well. Hiroyuki Sanada is back as well, and he just leans into this over seriousness of the story so much. Arguably, he's probably the only one that can pull it off as well. And that kind of swings back to the other elements here. The action's great, and the lore has managed to become interesting, but the dialogue will be a huge hit or miss for viewers here. You either accept it and enjoy it, or it's something you'll just grit your teeth through. Bill Skarsgård looks great here and is presented well as the villain, but doesn't do much else besides deliver his generic bad guy chat. Story-wise as well, this movie is just too long. At a runtime of 2 hours 49 minutes, even I could pick out half an hour worth of conversations and moments which you could happily take out that would not affect the story in any way or the enjoyment of the film. We're joined by a new assassin played by Shamier Anderson, and whilst it's enjoyable seeing the action he brings with his highly trained dog, and it's something I'd be happy to watch in its own side story, it's just a character that you can take out entirely for this film, as it serves nothing to the story. It felt like not even the writers knew what to do with him. I'd read that this film is the product of condensing the ideas for a 4th and 5th film into one feature, and I could easily believe that. It does very much feel like 2 movies, front half and back half. Whilst Act 1 and Act 3 present us with huge amounts of fun and character interactions, the middle portion of this film feels bloated and really grinds the momentum to a halt. And it feels like I've ended on a bad note with this one, but that really doesn't swallow the whole film. Whilst it's a near 3-hour commitment, those that have enjoyed any of the previous films will no doubt have a great time with this one too. John Wick Chapter 4 did a great job of giving us new concepts and characters to the world, which for me made this one feel the most interesting story-wise, however bloated that was. I'm not sure if we'll get a John Wick 5. The box office returns for this one seem great already, so most likely, but I know we are definitely getting spin-offs such as Ballerina with Ana de Armas, and I think the strength here is to replicate John Wick's presentation in scenery and cinematography with new characters that can keep bringing fresh features to the table. But I'd also never get tired of seeing Keanu Reeves kick more ass either. So there you have it. This is one I'd wholly recommend for any action junkies out there, and I'm glad to see 4 films in that the franchise doesn't feel stale. It came out last week in theatres, so maybe you've already seen it, and if so, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this review, please feel free to leave a like and subscribe and all that, and as always, stay tuned for more reviews of movies, anime, and video games. Until next time guys, take care. Bye bye.